State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
Sheri, Peter Obi was in Canada recently, and you attended the event.
Yes, I did.
From what you saw that day, what can you say about the man, Peter Obi?
I was at the event. It was hosted on the Sunday evening. I got the ticket in the morning. From what I have been hearing of him, I feel like he embodies the aspirations and hopes of people based on his past governance experience in Anambra. So I guess that's why a lot of people were interested in seeing him in Toronto on Sunday.
And when he appeared, what was the reception like?
Oh, he got a very, very warm welcome from the attendees. The event was scheduled to start at 6, and I think that was the organizers trying to make sure that everyone was seated and everyone was ready to listen to him at 7 o'clock. So, the hall was full. It was full to capacity. And then they had shut the door and Peter was to come in. So when he came in, he just walked in casually. We didn't even know when he came in. But the moment people saw him, everyone started getting up, yelling, screaming, clapping. It was just a very, very warm welcome, So people, I think, for like 5 minutes, people were just yelling his name, singing. It was the energy was palpable. Like you could see, like there was this energy. It was a different energy. It was energy of hope, energy of a new beginning. It was just a different kind of energy that you would see. That people were just ready. I don't even think I think maybe now, seeing, everyone coming out and all of the tour across North America that he has done and the number of people that have come out, I'm sure he must be aware that this is even bigger than him right now, so.
Bigger than him.
The Obi movement, I think the Obi movement is not even about Obi per se. It's about the yearnings and the aspirations of Nigerians, whether they are in Nigeria or in diaspora. Everybody wants a Nigeria that works and works for everyone, not just the elite, not just a section of the country, not just a tribe. They want Nigeria to work for all of us. So I think the Obi movement, from what I could deduce, means that yes, we're yearning for this change. We want like an egalitarian society where all of us could just, enjoy the greatness of our country in peace, enjoy the security, enjoy everything, and that's what I believe the Obi movement or the Obi in person embodies for us.
What were the messages he came to Toronto with?
Well, he delivered a simple message of hope. He acknowledged that changing Nigeria does not depend only on the leaders, but also the followers. For instance, when people were asking him about what he was going to do about to avoid rigging, and it was like, it's going to be up to everybody. Everyone would have to protect their own votes. So what I gathered from that is when you vote, you wait that your vote is transmitted before you leave that place, because that's the only way that you would know that your vote will be counted, So when people and when politicians, people are so jaded about politics these days, and they just feel like politicians just lie through their teeth, and things like that. But with him, he was like, it tells you as it is, and he also challenges you to do your own part, which is what was different, And he also mentioned how people in diaspora, I think for the very first time, the diaspora remittance is actually more than the oil revenue right now. and how the diaspora has the financial power to change, the direction of the country through their relatives back home. Encouraging them to understanding that we need to be a producing country, and to stop being a consumer country that we are now right now. And that was the message. You've got the power, you've got the financial power, and because you've got the financial power, then use it, leverage it against the people you send this money to, so that if they don't do the right thing, then you're not sending the money to them again.
Did the message sink?
Oh, yes. I personally thought it resonated. For me, I've always been a free thinker anyway, and I've always had an open mind, but I thought it resonated. He sounded more like politicians here. The difference between our politicians back home and the politicians here is politicians are politicians. They've made the name for being politicians because, like I said, they say what people want to hear, but they're not consistent. However, the problem with the people in our place is they're not patriotic enough. Our politicians here, they say what they want to say, but then they still do the right thing. They still do the basic thing that the people want. We've got roads, we've got electricity, we've got water, we've got all of the basic amenities that we need to survive, to live a normal life. Our own politicians don't even do that for us. So with Obi, it was just saying those things, those basic things that we need, and how it could get them for us. And I'll give you another example. When they were talking about corruption, and that he said, someone asked him, what are you going to do about corruption? I was like, look, I'm not going to chase what happened in the past. I'm going to want to move forward. Because if I start saying I want to fight corruption, then my government is going to be on standstill. But I can assure you that if I'm not corrupt, my wife is not corrupt, my kids are not corrupt, 75% of fighting corruption within my own family is gone. And that's the kind of example I want to pass on to people that will be in my government. When you say that, when you state that, people are going to hold you accountable to things like that. So I've not heard any other, candidates say things like that.
Now, after the initial reluctance, you decided to attend the event. What spurred you?
Mm-hmm. I'm just, how will I say it? I'm a recluse in my own way, and when I go out, I want to go with someone I know, people I know, and I'll feel comfortable. But this one is just different. Like, for me, this is a movement, and I wanted to be part of that movement. I wanted to be part of history making. I think this is history making. When you remember that we had this same thing about 24 years ago when Obasanjo became president. That's the same feeling I have. At that time, I actually worked at the Nigerian Embassy in Brazil. And I was part of the locally engaged staff that managed the logistics, of having the president-elect in the country. And we're also hopeful at that time and, trying to believe and trust the system. This time around is the same thing. So when I decided I'm going, I'm like, you know what, I'm going. I can't miss this time. And I was happy I did. I actually met some of my high school friends that were there. There were a couple of people I actually met there that I didn't know would be there. And there were two people, like there was someone I met from, I had met him in Nova Scotia. It was like a mentee to me when I worked there, and I supported his growth. So I was really proud to know that he was actually part of the volunteers for Peter Obi movement. So it was a good reconnection. Then I also met someone at my current workplace that just stopped by and said, I've always seen you virtually, and it's so nice to see you here. I didn't know you're obedient. So for me, it was like, those were moments that if I hadn't gone, I would have missed it, So yeah, I think there's just something about being at the right place at the right time. And I thought that was it.
Sheri, why are you convinced that Peter Obi is a servant leader?
Okay. Well, for me, I feel that when you look at the qualities of a servant leader. It's humility. It's humble. He cares. Oh, okay. When he came in, there was no airs about him. There were no airs about the people around him. After the event, when people were leaving, he stayed. This is someone that, I think this was his first event. He was very tired. I understood from what I was hearing from the organizers. They had all this different, the protocols that they have for all these politicians and dignitaries that come around. And they had prepared all of this protocols for Peter. And he said, you know what, I don't care. I just want to go straight to the hall. I want to go talk to the people that came to see me. I want to see them and I want to speak with them. And, so he just came straight. He didn't care about the dinner or all the, whatever it was. So he came straight to the people. And then after the event, everyone wanted to take pictures with him. Because as yet, the organizers were not prepared for that. It was very rowdy. And Peter just said, you know what, I'm here for you guys. I'm going to stay till the end. And he actually stayed till the end. He took pictures with every single person that wanted to take pictures with him. And I'm sure this were like more than hundreds of people. And when you look at someone that has been traveling on all day, by the time he left, it was probably around 11:30, and he still had an engagement the following morning, around 7 in the morning. So when you put yourself, your own need aside and focus on the needs of others, that's what servant leadership means. It's not about you anymore. It's about the people that believe in you and the fact that you actually you don't want to disappoint them. When you look at his record, people say, like I said again, politicians say what you want to hear. But he says what you want to hear. His actions and his records are consistent with what he says, even though people are saying some things, but they really haven't come out to tell us that he's lying. They could be saying it like carrying rumors around, but they've not come straight out to say, okay, we've fact-checked and all of this is a lie.
Some critics are saying that Obi tour of North America will amount to nothing because diasporans cannot vote.
It's true, diasporans cannot vote. But if it is also true that diasporans send money to their relatives back home and they use that privilege of the money they send to their family back home and tell them, if you don't vote for this person, I'm not sending money to you anymore, then things could change. I actually believe that it's not about Obi. If we're desperate about change, it's about all of us. What do we really want? Who do we really want? Who do we really trust? All of these people have been there forever. The other candidates, they've been there forever for the past 23 years. And it seems like especially the last 8 years was a regression of everything else. The two other candidates, or the two main other candidates that are there were actually part of this government. They formed an alliance to bring this government to power. So what is it that is different from those two and the person that is there now? I am willing to give Obi a chance because it's different. It wasn't part of this government. It wasn't part of this last 8 years.
Is Peter Obi Nigeria's next president?
Well, I hope, and I think that question depends on all of us. Is that what we want? Do we want to move forward, or do we want to continue with the same people that will keep taking us backward? And, they and their enablers, it's not even about the people, the flag bearers of those parties. It's the enablers, people that know that if we have a different order, then their meal ticket is gone. Then all of their meal tickets are gone. So it's about self-interest. Personally, I have no dog in the fight. I've always made my life fluid abroad. I've been away for so long that it's not about me. But I just want to be proud again. I want to be proud of my country. I've always been in rooms when I say I'm Nigerian, and I could tell them that this is why I'm Nigerian. And I could say, yes, we do all of these things. But right now, there is nothing to write home about. There is nothing to be proud of, especially our government. I'm very proud of our entertainment industry. I'm proud of our youth, in spite of our government's inadequacies. Our youth thrive, and they thrive everywhere. But I'm not proud of the government we have. I'm not proud of the leadership. I'm not proud of where the older generation have led our country, and I'm so not proud, and I'm so disappointed that my generation actually lost out in nation building, which our parents' generation were part of that. They started very young. They robbed us of that, and I don't want my children to be robbed of the same thing I was robbed of. That's my own fight.
Sheri Dosumu, thank you for featuring on State Affairs.
You're welcome.